My name is Chad Bennett. This is the August 2016 Wildfire, and I taught the Intro to Poi class here. This is my class recap. So starting with, you should always stretch before you begin. Poi is going to be really tough on the shoulders, elbows, and wrists, but the rest of the body is good too. Doing some basic stretches with the wrist, certainly shoulders as well. Start with dynamic stretches where you just kind of wiggle everything, and then actually get into a little more static stretches so that you get your muscles loose. Really important before you start. The concept of practice makes permanent. Practice doesn't make perfect is really important. So when you're beginning Poi, really focus on your planes and your techniques so that you get that down and you're not relearning planes later and having to break bad habits. Planes, which we talked about, is that vertical area that the Poi is moving in. To get your planes very straight up and down, don't focus as much on the ball as you focus on what your fingers are doing, where it's touching your body at. If you can make a tiny little circle right here, which you always actually do, whatever that does way out at the end is what the Poi are actually doing. So trying to straighten your planes up, focus right here. Try to make that straight up and down. Whether you're in side plane, which we talked about, or wall plane in front of us, which we talked about, it's straight up and down right where it touches your body at. We talked about timing and direction. So direction, this is forward direction, because if it hit me in the head, I'd fall forward. Reverse direction, hit me in the head, I'd fall in reverse. Easy way to remember. Timing is when they cross the ground. This is same time. They're crossing the ground same time. Split time, opposite. One's up top while the other's down low. We talked about, we went from there to the stalls. So we started talking about how to do a stall where if you focus on kind of having a flat bar beside you, you can run the Poi right down the bar into a stall. So here, it's the first stall you kind of learn, but you want to keep it the same. What you don't want to do is have it continue to rotate up. Instead, punch after it or follow it in where it's going to really get your stalls down. So we worked on side, doing both stall, back, did some drills, and drills are really important when you begin, and they're boring as crap, but you have to do them both hands, stall with the left, stall with the right, getting back into, do it sideways. Here, double stall, practice, getting down, count to 20, stall, both ways. The homework I sent you home with was stalling just one hand. So if I'm stalling just my right hand, switch direction, right hand, switch direction, left hand, switch direction, left hand, switch direction. And then vary it up, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. There we go. Getting where you can do that is really important. It starts to do a big exercise on ambidexterity. It's going to really drill both hands independently. It's a great starter. We did the side planes, then we worked on one-step turns. One-step turns is taking one step, reaching up, grabbing a beach ball so that your hands stay the right distance apart, coming down, and letting it go the other side. So we're going to take a one-step turn, step, grab, turn. In reverse direction, you draw that half circle up high. So you do the same single step so that your hips open up so they can turn. Grab, turn, step, grab, turn, step, grab, turn. And the nice part is instead of stepping forward to get your feet in position, you can also step backwards with the other foot. So step, turn, forward step, turn is a 360. So you now have 360s now. We did that and forward. We then switched to our butterflies. Big butterfly to start with, full arms just to kind of get going. Then take it down to the elbows. Then take it to just the wrists. One hand is slightly above the other. You want to try to get your planes very straight up and down, closer to the body. Great practice is actually walk up to a wall that has nothing on it and just do this. The wall will tell you where you're really off at, and you can help correct that way. From this, we also, stall, started to learn the reverse direction. Again, big circle, elbows only, just at the wrist, so we get our butterfly down. We practiced from there reels. So the real key of reels is making sure right over the hip you do your entire 360. A lot of people come way to the front and do a little thing in the back, way to the front, little thing in the back. That's absolutely not what you want to do. Make sure it's crossing right over the hip. Your hand spends as much time behind the body as in front of the body. As always, practice both directions. So if I'm going forward direction, I want to make sure I go reverse direction in my drills. So you get them both down. And the key there is, like we saw in the turns, I'm in forward direction here. When I turn around, the Poi are going in reverse direction. But the Poi didn't change direction. I changed my orientation to the Poi. And that is really important that you learn both directions of everything so you can turn freely. We went from getting the real planes to being able to come in and out of real planes. So we're here and here. One of the keys to that we also worked on was the thread the needle. So for thread the needle, which is this move here, we didn't quite get to where everybody learned this in class or even close. It's a hard move. Doing that same big arm thing, switch which hand's on top. So my right hand's on top, my left hand's on top. My right hand's on top, my left hand's on top. And come back to the elbow. So it's a push out. Kind of wipe down the arm. When they're straight up and down is where my back hand should be back at my elbow. And then I'm going to slide down and out. So that's the way I'm going to do thread the needle. Other direction is almost the same, except for you push out after they cross on the bottom, and the hand goes underneath as opposed to on top that it's pushing out. From there, we combine the reels, being able to go in and out of reels, doing the same one-step turn. I'm going to turn into this. So reel in, here, half step if you want, half step, in, and then that opens up the ability to come in and out of a lot of these moves. It's just a combination of those things all kind of put together, taking out the in-between beats. Probably one of the last things we worked on, well, we did do the 3-beat weave, is going here, if you just turn sideways, you're in opposite direction. There's a whole set of moves based on butterfly, and then there's a whole set of moves based on the 3-beat weave. Getting between the two is not always easy because this is same direction, butterfly is an opposite. If you stall one poi and go sideways, we're in butterfly. They are in opposite direction now. Doing that simply is stall one, that homework exercise. I'm here, stepping into it, I'm in butterfly. Probably the easiest way to go between the butterfly movement sets and the 3-beat weave. And last but not least, worked on 3-beat weave, which started with 2 beats on one side, 1 on the other, 2 beats on one side, 1 on the other, sticking the hand out, over, under, around, over, under, around, doing that with both sides, over, under, around. Then we started working on the offhand. Once it gets gone under, right there, throwing something like you had a ball in your hand, you're throwing it to the other side of the body, throwing it over there, over, under, throw, over, under, throw. When it all comes together, come here, you're going to go throw. You can just watch the orange one. I'm going over, under, around, over, under, around. And the offhand, which will be the white one right now, is throwing across. So over, throw. Our orange one goes over, under, around, but over, and as soon as it goes under, the other hand throws across. So it's a scale of building up. If you're having any trouble with any one, just go back to just one hand, just doing 2 beats, 1 beat, 2 beat, 1 beat across the body, and just build up. It's all just steps, easy to get there. Poi is incredibly hard. A lot of people don't say that, but it is really, really tough. But I hope you really enjoy spinning, and I hope this gets you a good start and getting going. Again, this is Chad, Wildfire, August 2016. That was Intro to Poi. Thanks.